We are back. I am Teresa Johnson here with my friend and co-commentator Chuck Cooley, and we are here for the Recurve showdown.
We're here in the Win and Win booth. We have a beautiful broadcast center for us this weekend.
It's fabulous. Do you see our digs? Look.
This is nice, right?
Very nice.
We got big fancy chairs. It's cool.
Do.
It adds a great element to us for this year because we get to see everything right up front. Last year we were kind of tucked back just a little bit and it was hard for us to see the competition. This year we're right up front, right up close. We can see it all. We're really close to the crowd. It's a lot of fun. Right now we are coming into the youth female recurve, and I know this is like recurve for you. This is like old home days. This
so
is
excited. This is my thing. So in addition to being a sometimes recurve shooter myself, more importantly, I work with a lot of young kids as a coach and primarily coach recurve archers, and I am also very, very excited about growing female archery, particularly in the United States, really empowering young female archers to feel confident about their equipment, confident about their form, and make great decisions in competition. So we are going to see a great shootout today between Katherine Wu and Valerie Wang. These two archers have both have somebody in the coach's box behind them. We'll talk about that in a minute, but Katherine Wu gets started with a 9 out to the right side. This is an Olympic recurve bow that both of these girls are shooting. And I think that was Valerie. Sorry, that was Valerie. And here comes Katherine. And Katherine's got a 1-point lead right now. 2 9s up on the board. So both of these young ladies, Chuck, if you look, they both seem a little on the younger side, particularly Valerie. She looks a little bit younger. Both of them very, very composed. A little bit of shaking there. She caught the 11. Great beautiful shooting by Katherine.
Big smile out of her for that.
Nice shot from Valerie.
Now this division, you mentioned their age. I want to know how old these girls are because this age group goes from 11 to 17.
Equipment for Olympic recurve. I see that you're shooting a Hoyt bow, a beautiful pink and silver Excel sight, fighter plungers, Eastern contour rods. Looks like an AAE arm guard. What tab are you shooting?
Kissick lead tab.
Very nice, very nice. I noticed you're shooting NTS and you're a member of the Junior Dream Team.
Yes, I am. The Junior Dream Team has a lot of new changes coming this year, and I'm really excited to see what they have in store for us.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you're looking great. You had a good start. Congratulations on making it to the Lancaster Archery stage.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Where did you come from? What's your hometown?
I'm from San Francisco, California.
We're going to see some replay here on Katherine shooting, and just look at her shot. She's got a really nice process about her, and now we're going to hear a little bit about Katherine. And here's our other side of the target, and look at that. High right 9. Valerie's just a little bit out of the 10 ring there, but we'll see if either one of these archers can start to pick up points as the nerves come off and they get settled in.
Yeah, it looked like Katherine kind of settled down on that last shot. Rob said she was, or she said in her interview there that she was part of the Dream Team. Tell me what the Dream Team is.
So the Junior Dream Team is a program by USA Archery that seeks to develop talent in young archers who may want to move on to a resident athlete program, the national team, and the Olympic team. So we actually see that these archers are selected to travel to camps where they work with the national head coaches. Specifically for the young women, this national head coach we're referring to is Songyi Wu, who is the new women's national head coach. And if you see Katherine shooting, she's just got a beautiful shooting style. She's a little nervous. There's a little shaking there, but her shot execution is really nice, and she catches the 10.
Pops a 10 right solid in there.
Valerie looks like she's just a little bit newer to archery. We don't know how long she's been shooting. She looks maybe a little less confident, but she's no less skilled. I mean, if you watch, yes, for sure, we see that Katherine's got a sizable lead on the board, but Valerie is holding her own in this match, which is not an easy thing to do against a really experienced competitor.
I want to see if we can get an overhead shot of her drawing her bow, because she does have that system, that NTS system.
Absolutely. So what the NTS method for sure is going to do is basically help the archer to engage their back muscles a little more efficiently, use the bone structure of their body and their muscles to basically support the weight of the bow more effectively.
Gotcha. And that's something that you teach. Hey, look, who do we have in the box all of a sudden going to talk to Mackenzie?
Hey, Valerie, how's it going?
I'm good.
You seem a little nervous. A little bit nervous. So, how long have you been shooting archery for?
3.5 years.
3.5 years? That's cool. How did you get started?
My mom's friend was an archery coach, and he invited me to come shoot with them. And
How old are you?
I'm 14.
Years old? That's cool. That's exciting. This is a big stage. It's nerve-wracking, but just stay calm. It's fine. It's just another target, 18 meters away. Have fun. Sorry, I'm a little nervous too, so be gracious. How are you doing today?
I'm very good. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Just kind of hanging out, watching some archery. Feeling confident about your match?
Yep.
Awesome. Have fun.
As the arrows come back, we'll take a look at the standings. Looks like we've got.
So we're going to see Valerie's last arrow there, and she looks a little bit nervous, but she's fierce on that release and follow through. And when we talk about follow through, we're saying she releases the arrow, and then we see that hand snaps back, and that's really a result of back tension. Now, we've heard that term before this weekend, and what we're really talking about is how the archer is using the bigger muscles in their back to bear the weight of the bow and execute the shot. So it's really not that they're pulling their hand back, it's actually that their back muscles are pulling their elbow and their hand back. And if they have a clean finish, we're going to be looking to see her hand stay close to her neck here when she releases the arrow, and it does. Mm-hmm. That's a really nice clean shot execution, just out of the 11. And here we've got Valerie. Both of these ladies making really nice looking shots.
How surprised do you think they were that Mackenzie showed up in the box to say hi?
I'll tell you what, Mackenzie's a pretty big deal, and she herself, she's a pretty quiet person, as you heard. That was a pretty brief interview. But Mackenzie is just such a standout.
Crush those two.
Look at these ladies. They're shooting beautiful groups. Now, we can talk a little bit here about the difference between these bows and the last bows that we saw in the Youth Women's Open division. So these bows are Olympic recurve bows. We call them recurve because the limb of the bow curves and then curves back. So there's an actual recurve to the limb.
Curves away from the archer.
Correct.
At the tip there.
So
looks like you're starting to relax a little bit. Are you having fun? Come on. All right. Well, for each of you and for every archer that's been up here on the stage, what's important is staying in your shot process. It's just like home, and you two are shooting very well, making good shots. Keep that up. We'll see how the scores come out here. We've got our very own Dan Schuler. Dan, go ahead and raise your hand there. That's Dan Schuler. Let's give it up for Dan Schuler. He's our head Olympic recurve tech at Lancaster Archery. He's a 3-time 2008, 2012, and 2016 Olympic training team member. He's been a contender for that long. He knows his stuff, whether it's coaching, the tech aspects of things, equipment selection, tuning. We depend on Dan each and every day. He makes our team the best it can be. Thank you, Dan, for all you do. All right, we've got an 84-78 match. Katherine, first or second?
What a great shout out there from Rob to recognize the staff that he's got on hand. And that goes, again, you know, to the depth. We had John Wirt earlier working with the trad tech and the bow tech, or the bow hunter and the bear bow guys, and that's his specialty, and he's been doing it for years. And now a shout out to, you know, his recurve people who, you know, literally shoot the game at the highest level. And those are educating and helping his customers and the Lancaster customers to get the best possible gear that they can get. These ladies come slinging them right out of the gate, a 10 and a 9 to open this end up.
And let's see Katherine here, and hopefully on the next arrow, I'd love to see if we can get a nice shot of her bow arm as she releases the bow after her shot. Katherine has a really beautiful follow through on the bow side of her body, and so if we're watching, she basically keeps that bow arm extended nice and straight, and then as the arrow leaves the bow, you'll see that she's going to release the bow, and there's very, very little movement in her bow arm. She's keeping that bow arm really straight and just using back tension to finish executing that shot. With the recurve bow, the goal is to aim until the arrow hits the target and to follow through for that long too.
Hold that right up there.
See what the scores are.
You can see those girls got right through those 3 arrows.
Katherine, you're looking very good, strong
Looks
there.
like
How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Very nice. Your rhythm and timing looks good. Your, looks like you've got it going on.
Thank you.
Keep it up. Okay. Now, Valerie, it appears unofficially like we've got a 112-103 match, but you're going to end up taking 4th place in the LAS Classic for $250. It's quite an accomplishment. In the eliminations, getting here, you have a tough field of girls, and you've shot extremely well over the weekend. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's give Valerie a hand.
We're going to take a look at some of these winning shots here that Katherine had, and she took a commanding lead in this match early on, and she's been very solid in her form. Look at the way those arrows land. She's right in the 10 there.
Nothing out of the gold the whole match.
Super composed. She looks great.
Really beautiful shooting. So Katherine is going to move on, and that will bring in Brianna Laux. And she's going to shuffle Katherine over to the next box.
And we're actually going to take a quick break for a commercial here, and then we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Lancaster Archery Classic 2018. We are in the True Ball Axel Archery Hall at Spooky Nook Sports Complex. This live broadcast brought to you by Hoyt Archery, and we are in the second match of the youth female recurve. The archer in blue is Brianna Laux, and the archer in red, that will pop up here in just a minute, is Katherine Wu. She just won her last match, moving from third now for an opportunity to go from the win.
We are seeing some fantastic shooting already from these two young ladies. Brianna is just a standout archer. I believe we heard that she's part of the Lancaster JOAD program.
I think yes. Rob did come over and mention that she's part of the JOAD program there.
And then we've also got, of course, Katherine over here, who is a Junior Dream Team member as part of their recurve team. Notice that Katherine exercised her option to move to the other shooting platform. She felt she might be a little more comfortable on the right side of the stage. But look at Brianna Lau. Well, she has just made a beautiful start in this match. She is very fierce. She looks young, but that is clearly no bar. And we've got a little bit of shaking going on from Katherine.
That pressure sinking in. I think Brianna might catch the 11 on that last arrow. I think that'll be great to take a look at. I'm hoping Rob's going to ask her a little bit about.
Brianna, you've been shooting for years. When did you start?
When I was 4.
You were 4. So how long have you been shooting?
9 years.
9 years. 13 now? Excellent. Way to go. You look cool, calm, and collected. Okay, your equipment looks like a win-and-win Wiawis Nanomax bow, a Shibuya sight, Easton stabilizer rods, a AAE plunger, and also arm guard. What tab? Black Mamba Venom tab, and Easton arrows. Very nice. Mackenzie, what would you like to add?
We're going to see some of Brianna's last shots here, and you can just see she's a very confident young shooter. She may be smaller in stature, but she's a heck of a shooter. And here's Katherine's last arrow, and she's looking really calm and collected. But she did, you know, bring the group out just a little bit on that shot, or at that end. She had a 27 down there. She's going to have to step it up just a little bit if she wants to edge Brianna out, who's obviously on fire right now.
She came out of the gate strong, you know, coming out cold from the practice range to the main stage to launch at 29. That's a great start for her. I figured Katherine would be a little warmed up and a little more comfortable. She could have just that one bad end in her.
And let's talk about who's in the coaches' boxes for these young ladies. So behind Brianna right now, she's a little difficult to see from where we're sitting, but there is Holly Stover, who was a former Olympic hopeful. She's now a very qualified coach. She's a level 4 coach and works with the junior dream team. And then in the box behind Katherine is Olivia Huffer. She's a fellow junior dream team member. She's been shooting for a number of years, also a very skilled photographer. And so these two young ladies have a really good first-rate coaching support behind them. Look at that beautiful group that Brianna's got in the target, and Katherine is seeing just a little bit of movement in her target right now. Brianna's been grouping really well. We'll see what she manages to do here.
Now,
Beautiful shot.
Is Brianna using a little bit larger diameter arrow than Katherine?
She may very well be, and in a recurve shot for particularly, it's about how quickly the arrow gets out of the bow, among other things, and how well the arrow tunes.
You can see how much faster these matches go than the compound ladies.
Gold in Olympic recurve for ladies of this age is quite an accomplishment. Shows a lot of composure,
Yeah,
a lot of maturity.
Sure.
Way to
You guys
go.
are doing awesome. Doing a great job.
Keep it up. Holly, I wanted to catch up with Holly Stover. Holly, what do you think?
I think it's a great match. It's keeping me on my toes right now, so I'm excited for both these young ladies.
Very good. Thank you, Holly. All right, let's check the scores. It looks like we've got a 1-point match. Brianna Lee, 2-point match. I need new glasses.
So we actually have we're seeing a little bit of replay here on Brianna's shots, and we just talked with Holly Stover, who is Brianna's coach, and with Holly is her medical dog, using
service
the wrong
dog,
service dog. Thank you, Chuck. And that service dog is named Nishu. And if you guys are interested in learning more about Nishu, she has her own Facebook page. She is Nishu the Superdoodle. And
The Superdoodle?
The Superdoodle. And Holly and Nishu work together to spend a lot of time educating people about service dogs and what's so important about them, and how to service dog etiquette. I have it on good authority that Nishu loves archery tournaments and archers. And so that is Brianna's opening shot.
Beautiful.
She nails a beautiful 10.
Look how good her target looks. Everything
super solid,
tight in
this
the
kid.
gold.
And here's Katherine, and she is just out. That is going to probably be
That's
an
an
8.
8, yeah.
And that, again, we were talking a little bit about fat arrows versus skinny arrows. You know, those fatter arrows, the aluminum arrows, tend to get out of the bow a little bit slower. The advantage of the skinnier arrows is they do get out of the bow faster. There's a little less time to think about it. And there's not always a big diameter advantage to be gained at these lighter draw weights and lower draw lengths. So in other words, if you're not pulling the bow back very far, or you're not pulling a lot of weight, you may not gain much diameter from going to an equivalent aluminum arrow versus a skinny carbon arrow.
Wow.
But look at Brianna
That's a 30.
grouping in that target. She's hitting her arrows, Chuck.
That's crazy good.
Awesome
that is
shooting.
A very, very, very tight target.
If I'm Holly and I'm this kid's coach, I'm super excited about, not about the score, but about her keeping her head right now.
Putting on quite the show. Both of you are art to watch. You know, your rhythm, your timing looks very smooth. You look like you're just shooting in the backyard for practice.
Thank you so much. Part of the thing about being a performer is that you kind of learn how to be more calm under pressure, and so I think that's helped a lot. And I know that we both worked super hard to get here, so our practice is paying off, hopefully.
Very good. Well, all of the hours of practice are certainly paying off, and it's apparent with both of you. Congratulations. Let's give it up for Katherine Wu and Brianna Lau. They have one more end.
We're going to take a look at Katherine's last shot there, and you can just see how she lands just outside of the 10 there. I think she may have just caught it. She has really been a standout archer in this match. She's very composed, but look at Brianna Laux. Just there's a little shaking, but she's so steady. She stays with it. She executes her shot consistently every time, and it pays off. Despite that shaking, it pays off.
You can see the big sigh of relief as she gets that one off.
And it's really in recurve archery, it's about execution. You know, there's no magnification. Your archer is holding a lot of weight, and so they really have to be executing consistently and executing strong shots. Even when they don't necessarily believe it was the greatest shot, you've got to execute as if it was an X every single time. And Brianna does that. Another 10.
Wow, what a tight-looking target. And I wonder if her experience from last year, she finished 4th here last year, so she would have been on this stage.
Absolutely. And so we've got Katherine with a 10, and they're matched in this end. But again, Katherine's got some catching up to do if she wants to get near Brianna. At this point, it's Brianna's to lose.
You could tell her form. She didn't finish as well as she has been, and you could tell that.
She had a little bit of a collapse there, Chuck. You're absolutely right. She lost a little bit of her back tension, and it showed. So when you see those low arrows typically on a recurve archer, the shot it's typically what we say is it might have been a weak shot. But here, it looks like she's going to make a stronger shot. But she catches some contact somewhere or may have plucked the string a little bit, and meaning she pulled the string away from her face. And so she just potentially lost this match.
And to finish up, we've got a 9. Left shooting buddies.
That'll go to Kath.
Give them a hand.
That was a stunning upset, Chuck. An absolute stunner, and you got to wonder if the pressure got to Brianna just a little bit, but outstanding match from that young lady.
You could tell her eyes closed. She was so sad.
That was awesome shooting from both of you guys. I think you guys performed well. Let's have another round of applause, guys. Good shooting from both of you.
So we're waiting for a final call on those arrows just to make sure, because it's a 1-point match right now, 110-109 unofficially.
Brianna, you shot tough. Your target looked awesome all the way through the match here. But you ended up in 3rd place. That's quite an accomplishment. $350. 3rd place in the LAS Classic. Let's give Brianna a hand. Thank you. Well done. Katherine? Anything can happen in recurve archery. You never give up, right? And you held tough. You shot gold after gold after gold, and it was enough to get the job done. So right now you're sitting in 2nd, and you're about to shoot for the championship.
I'm so excited. Thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have Lancaster's.
So we're going to see Katherine's winning shot here, and then we're going to head out to just a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you in a couple minutes for the men's division. And we are back here at the Lancaster Classic, and we are still in the women's division. My mistake, right before our little commercial break there, I thought we were headed to the men's division, but we're not, because we are just about to shoot the gold, essentially what is the gold medal match, the final match of the day. And this is Katherine Wu versus Alyssa Artz, who, guess what? This is our Lancaster Joad archer. She shoots alongside Casey Caulfield here, and also shoots with Connor Caulfield. She is a standout member of that team, and she is shooting against Katherine Wu, who's been winning her way through this division. What do you think, Chuck?
I think Katherine looks pretty good. She's starting to get a little bit of a shake. I'm wondering if she's getting a little bit of tired. Alyssa came out of the gate strong. Her first arrow dead center right into the X, and followed it up with her last arrow there with a good solid, looked like a 10 here. And Katherine with 2 in the 8, 1 in the X. good start to this final match. I think this is going to be super exciting. What a tough loss or great win, depends on how you look at the last one.
Shibuya sight, a prototype extended clicker that looks very interesting. A dead center stabilizers. What tab are you shooting, Alyssa?
The Venom 2.
Venom 2, very nice. Shooting gold tip arrows. And Alyssa, I can remember you were here last year. How does this compare to last year?
The same.
I'll tell you what, you've been training hard, you've been working hard, and I think you're probably a lot more confident this year.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, congratulations on all the hard work. We'll see how this first end worked out. Wow, tie score, 27 all. Let's give them a hand.
She's a woman of few words, Chuck, but I do remember Alyssa Artz from last year. Do you remember her?
I'm trying to.
Okay, so she was the young lady who had a perfect poker face every time Rob would ask her a question. She was just a lot shorter last year, but she was the same kid.
Right.
She was absolutely, she may not like it if I characterize her this way, but she was adorable to watch last year, and now she is an equally fierce competitor. I think she's actually fiercer. Look at that beautiful form. She shoots really well. Now, this is a great opportunity for the folks at home who might be new to recurve archery or new to archery, period, to notice the difference in shooting technique between these two ladies. Alyssa is using a much more linear draw, meaning she draws the bow straight back in a straight line, and she finishes with that quick finish. She's releasing the bow. It's just hitting her leg. And Katherine, on the other hand, is using National Training System, which is a method of shooting that was developed by national head coach Keesick Lee. And you can see these contrasted here. And the important point here is that one is not necessarily superior to the other. It's just what happens to work best for that archer.
That's a
Look
31.
at Alyssa Artz. Holy smokes, Chuck. Look at the way this kid is shooting.
That's incredible.
There goes Katherine.
That's some power shooting right there.
You guys need to be shooting on 3-spot targets from now on. I think your parents would agree, Alyssa. So you shoot here at Lancaster? Yeah. How do you feel about that, being able to shoot in your hometown?
I like it.
I traveled all the way to France and then all the way here to get to go to this tournament. And you get to go in your backyard. That's pretty cool. Man, this crowd is really quiet. Don't have anything. Give these guys a round of applause.
You can tell Mackenzie's just a little uncomfortable doing interviews.
So here
Look at
comes
this.
Alyssa with her first shot. This kid absolutely
Beautiful.
drilled it. She is all business. So, you know, Rob Koffold mentioned to us earlier, Chuck, that Alyssa's been training alongside Casey Koffold. She's one of her training partners and of course, therefore also trains with Connor Koffold. What a wonderful advantage for all of these kids at the Lancaster Joad team to be able to shoot together, to train together. What an amazing advantage for them.
You know, with a coaching like this and the experience that they have and the availability of all the equipment that they need and the support that they get from the parents, and they have a ton of tournaments down here, these kids get the experience at the Lancaster facility that you can't get really unless you go to a national training center.
Absolutely.
So it's a huge advantage, and you can see that it's paying off. The two girls that we watched earlier, well, we're watching Alyssa now. But,
and fantastic coaching for all of these kids. And that's also the same, too, for Katherine. You know, as part of the Junior Dream Team, she has access to some of the best coaches in the country. The reality is the best coaches in the country are not in one particular place. They're just about everywhere. You can find a good certified coach almost anywhere in the country. The best way to find one, of course, is to look through USA Archery. They share certification with the National Field Archery Association and other organizations. So you know that if you're getting a certified coach, you're getting a coach who's been through the Safe Sport program and has a level of coach education. And here goes Katherine, and now she is turning up the heat.
She's figured something out.
She's not going to go quietly. And here comes Alyssa. And she's super determined, but she...
X-10-8, it looks like.
She's got an arrow up a little bit high there, and that's going to hurt her a little. So let's see what Katherine does.
Katherine's either got a pair...
She's got a 9.
Yeah, 11-10-9 or 11-9. That's going to be a really close call.
2-point match.
Wow. Wow. super impressive.
We got
for girls of
Scott
this age.
Rissinger, a longtime friend of mine. Scott and I have probably known each other and shot against each other 40 years or more. And Scott's from Hershey, PA, the Palmyra area, right near Hershey Chocolate, of course. And Scott does a lot of work with the Defense Department and is a very talented individual. He's also a level 4 coach, and he's Alyssa's personal coach. Scott, I saw you giving her some words of advice. What'd you say?
The 1 arrow's a little up higher there twice. Like to pull it and swap it.
There you go. If for nothing else other than mental confidence. Okay, you didn't play well, you don't get to play anymore. Switch that one out, right?
That's right.
Scott, you are one of the top-ranked male archers, masters archers over 50. You know, you compete indoors, outdoors. You've been a coach for many years now. I want to thank you for your generous support of Alyssa and other archers
Take
there.
a look at Alyssa here as she dials that back in right into the X. Then her last arrow dropping out for the 9. Then we'll look at Katherine. Man, she really turned it on this end. Tried to pull herself back in. Keep this match nice and tight.
Her release was super solid. If you're watching her technique, she keeps that pinky finger and her thumb extended back towards her neck when she's shooting, and you can see that that follows as she releases. She's doing a really nice job. Katherine mentioned, I think earlier, that she's from the San Francisco area, though I could be wrong. So as a member of the Junior Dream Team and being in California, she's got access to a lot of good coaching options and year-round good weather to train in.
Absolutely.
Here comes Alyssa with a high 9, is a little bit on the right. So
that's the one her coach wanted to pull.
Absolutely. So we're going to see here what she does. Here's Katherine with a left 9.
So no point gain there. Another 9.
This is still Alyssa's match to lose. She has still got a pretty decent lead here, but she's got to keep her head together if she's going to get past Katherine, who's a really tough competitor.
And, ooh, there's
That
an 8.
That 8 could be the match, but of course, as we saw in the last match, anything can happen.
And an 8-9 liner.
She needs an 11 to tie this match. Can she do it? Ooh.
Oh.
Little rough on the timing, finishes with a 5. Alyssa Artz takes the match.
That'll be Alyssa's match. Congratulations. Fantastic shooting from Katherine to make her way up through the bottom there. Starting at number 4, working herself up to number 2.
I can ask you really, how do you feel now?
I feel pretty good. I never competed on a podium before, and this is totally new to me, and it's so exciting to be here. Thank you for hosting this.
Will you come back next year?
Definitely, except I'll be, I'm 17 now, so I won't be in the youth category. I'll be in the next category up.
Well, very good. You and Mackenzie will be able to shoot against each other next year. Congratulations, $550 for second place, the whole way from California. Give her a hand. Alyssa, this has to be special for you. How you feeling?
Better than last year.
You've worked very, very hard all year long. I've seen how hard you've worked. And I can tell you that there's very few young ladies that your age that have worked as hard as you've worked. You have a lot to be proud of. Congratulations. $1,000 and our youth female champion, Alyssa Artz. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Alyssa. She pulls it out. There's her final shot for the win. The youth female recurve champion. We'll be right back here at the Lancaster Archery Classic 2018.
How would you like a new Fanatic 3.0 from Bowtech? Well, here's your chance. Text the word Fanatic to 77453 right now for a chance to win one. We'll announce the winner live from our 2018 Vegas shoot coverage. So do it now. Text Fanatic to 77453. You'll get a text message with a link to enter. Good luck and enjoy the tournament.